Hello, welcome. It's another Thursday night. That must mean on ESC Fan TV, it is time to review yet another semi-final of Melodi Grand Prix, which is taking place this weekend. Now, we've got a fantastic panel of guests joining me this evening, but before we do that, let's get down to business. Look, I've even designed my own banner this week. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Insta. We've even got our own Twitch channel as well for you to join in the fun on there. And also, we have to also say, don't forget also to comment in the chat bar throughout the show as well, because our panel would love to hear from you as well. Now, without further ado, let's meet the panel. A big hello to Andy. Good evening, Andy.
Hello, good evening. My first time for Norway this year. I'm very well, thank you.
So, yes, it's nice to have you with us on the Norway show. Joining us as ever on the Norway show, off to your right, we've got the lovely Joe. Good evening, Joe.
Hello, everyone. Back again. It's Norway.
Oh, fantastic to see you this evening. Then, we're going to go round clockwise. We've got Nicholas. Good evening, Nicholas.
Good evening, coming to you live from my hometown. I'm back home for a week, but, you know, Norway's show, it's just too important, so I had to be here.
Ah, that's what we like to hear. That is what we like to hear. Also joining us, going round, we've got Aline. Good evening, Aline.
Good evening, Europe, and good morning, Australia.
Hey. And also joining us from Eurovision Norway, we've got Morten. Good evening, Morten.
Good evening. It's always a pleasure to be on this show, especially because it's Melodi Grand Prix.
Hey. Now, Morten, I have to say, now, I don't even need to ask you if you were actually in the arena on Saturday, because for once, obviously, NRK kept the stream running, so we saw the end. But I saw you literally dive straight on stage to interview the winning act. And I was saying to everyone, that's the back of Morten's shirt.
Oh, what a show it was. Oof.
How was it?
The experience was world class, maybe like the best staging and so on so far in the Melodi Grand Prix. I thought like all the 4 songs, even 5 songs, was better live than they were in the studio version. I was kind of hoping for Thomas to win, but Kristin's song is just too good to hate, so I'm happy with the result.
And to be honest, you know, I did say...
Oh. And Tom has gone.
We'll never know what he said. We'll never know.
Oh, well.
I have no idea what happened to that one. I disappeared. Look, now I'm in the centre. I've taken Andy's role. I have no idea what happened with that. That's crazy. Hello, again. Apologies, technical difficulties. This is obviously what happens when you try and do everything all by yourself.
Oh, by myself.
I know. As I was, do you know what it was? I was about to hit the Justice for Z Gruber.
Get on with the songs
thing.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to bother now.
Yeah,
Justice for Z Gruber. Let's not bother. Should we just move on with the songs, people? I'll tell you what. Let's
do it.
Let's just get on with it.
I'm going to sing them if you don't start playing them.
Oh,
no.
So that's a threat.
Well, I'll tell you what. The first song we've got coming up is we're going to listen to, and I was trained by Morten for this one, Hege Björk, not to be confused by Hera Björk of Iceland. Famous for songs in her Norwegian West Coast dialect, had a debut album in 2016. I think it's well worth a listen. Let's take a look. Hey, what a track. Let's go straight to Aline. What are we thinking of Hege Bjørk's? Does it give you the pang for more?
Well, when I heard it for the first time, it did. It was a song full of energy, something I should like a lot. But when I started to listen it more often, I got less impressed every time I heard it. So it's good, but I'm maybe not in the mood for those big pop songs in this Eurovision season. Maybe it's just me, but it's good, but not my favorite.
Okay, let's go to Andy now. Obviously, I've used a bit of an English appropriation because pang actually means bang, I believe, is the English translation. But obviously, we do have the word pang in English anyway. But what did you make of this track?
Well, lyrically, it's very interesting. It's about eating diseases. And that makes me wonder how she's going to play it out on stage. You know, a bit of projectile vomiting. I actually really like it. I really like it, but not for Eurovision. She's in it to get herself exposed to the Norwegian public. It's a dance song, and it's very repetitive. It's not right for Eurovision, but good for her.
Okay, and let's just take Morten's view as well on that one.
I have to agree with Andy, as this is not a Eurovision song. It doesn't quite fit with the Melodi Grand Prix, even though I kind of like the song. The weird thing is that as I live in Norway, I don't like the West Coast dialect, as I am from the West Coast. So that kind of irritates me. So I don't know why it is like that, but I also feel like the song is a bit overproduced. Too much EDM, maybe too much noise going on, but it's an okay song. It isn't something I would like to send from Norway, but Hege is a good singer, and we can't take that away from her.
Now, I must actually take the opportunity just to say hello to everyone in the chat room this evening. We've got Karen's, we've got Barra, we've got Annie, we've got David, we've got ESC Manga, we've got Choice DK, we've got Andrea Arsland, we've got Ahmet. Oh my goodness, we have so many of you in the chat room. It's lovely to see you all here as well. And we're just going to give them a quick wave like that. Hey! Comments from that as well. David Hege Bjørk, I nearly skipped to Iceland there, I'm so sorry. Hits you on the first listen, but the more times you listen, it gets boring. It's not a song for Eurovision. Annie Jowett is, however, just waiting for Over the Sea. Well, I don't think you've got too long to wait there, Annie, because it's going to be the next song up. Ooh. Now, this one comes with almost, I think, as close as you could get to Norwegian Royal Eurovision credentials. It's Magnus Bugten that sings this song. Now, he was a contestant in Norwegian's The Voice in 2017. But more interestingly, the song is a collaboration between one Alexander Rybak from That's How You Write a Song, or most notably Fairy Tale, where he did get his fairy tale ending. And also we have Joust as well, which I know Joe's a fan of. You're a fan of Joust, aren't you, Joe?
I love Joust. Absolutely love him. Lovely guy.
Let's take a listen. This is what Annie reckons she's had on repeat for the last few days. Let's take a listen and see what the panel think.
Over the sea and far away, beyond my wildest dreams, I can't deny what I cannot see. The guideline lies in me. Might be better, and it might be wrong. Will we ever figure out where we belong?
I have to say, it's got a nice rhythm to it. I can see Nicholas still swaying to it. What's your take on Over the Sea then, Nicholas?
Oh, this is really good. The first word I wrote down was that this was a very adorable song. That was my first thought when I heard it. But like the more you get through it, the more you realize that this just has everything, right? You know, it's got a great voice, it's got a great melody. We have the violins, we have like everything that's great about Alexander Rybak and everything that's great about Joust in this combination. This is just a fantastic entry. I really love it. I think it's so cute. It's so nice. It's like, you know, it gives me kind of like the same feeling that I had with Belarus a couple years ago with Navi Band. That it's just like this really cute and lovely song that you just cannot help but love. Dare I say, I think this might be the best song we've had in this selection so far, in my opinion, at least.
Oh, could that be it? Could this be the key to Norwegian success? Joe, would you be happy to see this? You're obviously off to Trondheim in a couple of weeks. Is this a song you'd be happy to see on the stage there?
Not just that, I'd be dead happy for it to go all the way to Rotterdam. Do you know, when I first listened to it, my first thoughts, wow, this is Moana. So, you know, if anybody loves the Disney film Moana, and the music like has to be that soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks that Disney have ever written, personally, in my opinion. So this has got that very similar feel, and I just love it. Absolutely love it. I can't ooze about it enough, I'll be honest. And in all fairness, I think there's this one. If there was the gold final and it's this one against Out of Air, and maybe Ulrika as well, which we'll get into. But you know, it'd be fantastic, just like all together. I've been made up, absolutely made up. I love it.
Very interesting. Now let's go across to Andy, because obviously, Andy, you are, you know, a Norwegian virgin this year, in the sense that you haven't actually been on our Norway shows before. What's your take on this one, particularly in comparison to Pang, which we heard earlier?
Well, how can you compare chalk and cheese? The completely different songs. I don't like Vikings stomping around the stage. I didn't like Roger Pontari in 2000. I didn't like Pirates of the Sea. I couldn't bear that Danish one in Portugal that came in the top 10. Absolute hideous. It's overblown, absolute nonsense.
Yes.
The clip that you just played of that is the worst part of the song. When he gets to the chorus, it's fantastic. There's something about it. It doesn't take itself too seriously like all of those others do, and I love it.
I have to say, Andy, you've just rummaged through some of my favourite songs.
Well, there you go.
I think that says a lot, because I quite liked Roger Pontare, and Pirates of the Sea was also, and you know, Rasmussen. You know, I have to say, yeah. And see, Aline. But then we have.
Oh, and I don't like Joust either. And Rybak's last song was a monstrosity. I just think this is good. When it gets going to the nice poppy bit, and it all gets a bit camp, then I'm happy with it.
Do you know what? I think you're right. There is some very, very adorable stuff. Well, you know, I at least I haven't got a banner up. When we did this, when we were discussing the semi-final on Saturday, I did put a banner up. Is Elliot's music taste always wrong? Which to much hilarity.
Why did I miss that? Why did I miss? Of course, that's a show I missed. You know, I just want to quickly say, I'm glad that Andy was the one in this group that you chose to call the Norwegian Virgin.
Oh no, I never have. I'm open for it if anybody's on the boat.
Oh dear. Right, let's just move on. Aline. Over the sea.
Well, I'm a big fan of Alexander Rybak because he was one of the first Eurovision artists I became a fan of way back in 2009. And even without hearing the violins, I could already hear that this was a song from Alexander. It was just typical his song, because it reminded me of his other song, Into a Fantasy. And that brings me to another argument. This song is so nostalgic for me, not because it's familiar, but this song could easily be the soundtrack of a animation movie, like Ice Age. Like you've probably all watched them, maybe. But I really
There's
love
a movie
those
called
movies.
Song of the Sea. It's like a Irish film called Song of the
Yeah,
Sea.
you
It
have
would
it.
fit perfectly
Well,
in there.
I just love this feeling, and I feel like many people might feel the same like me and will therefore vote for this song. So I would love to see this in Rotterdam, to be honest.
And do you know what? I'm gonna have to go. It would be remiss of me not to leave Morten out. Now, I mean, let's face it, Ryback did get some flack a couple of years ago with "That's How You Write a Song" because yeah, let's not go into details here. But is this a return to form?
Well, if you compare this to That's How You Write a Song, this is miles ahead. But if we're only going to focus on Over the Sea, first time I listened to it, I was like, okay, decent. Moving on. But the second and third time and fourth time I listened to it, I was like, this gives me Lion King's vibes. I don't know what's happening. Like hyenas just running across with elephants and tigers and everything. And just rain falling down and drums on the stage and everything. I was like, wow, this is amazing. But realizing that will not happen on stage, I'm back to earth, like thinking it's a decent song.
They could have a screen in the background.
Oh, you know what? That would be amazing. It will like be a dream come true. But this can win the semifinal pretty easily, together with another song that we haven't talked about yet. But I think it's exciting. I'm looking forward to the staging.
Do you know what? It should be interesting. I'm quite looking forward to it as well. Now we're moving on. The next song is, and do you know what? I need to share this with you because it goes with the thing. We're going for Oda Loves You. She's aiming to get through to the final with the song Love Who We Love. Now she's a singer from Bergen. And apparently she used to come out on her doorstep and actually sing to passers-by and things on her doorstep. So I've read on her Spotify. As I said, the song is Love Who We Love. I think this is actually a bit of a banger, really. But as always, let's take a listen and we'll see what the panel think.
We love who we love. We love who we love. We love who we love. We love who we love.
Do you know? Morten is already dancing there. I think there is some love shared in the room for that one. Let's go straight to Nicholas. Do you love Oda?
I'm afraid not. And I'm not too much of a fan of her song either. So this is, this is a bit of a kind of nostalgic song because it does have that like early 2000s disco pop vibe, and I can see why a lot of people enjoy this song. I'm not taking it down for that, but it's just not my style. I find it a bit too dated, a bit too like we've heard this a million times before, like both the song and like kind of the lyrics and everything. And also, I just have to add, there's this like little gimmick in the bridge where it's like it sounds like she's singing backwards. And first of all, I don't know how they would do that live. They'll probably just do it with backing vocals, but like taken to Eurovision stage, how would they do that? That's besides the point. The second point is, why did they do it? Because it sounds weird and it doesn't fit in. I really don't get that part. But yeah, it's an okay song, but I don't love it. I wouldn't want this to go through because I think it's one of the weaker ones in this semifinal.
Do you know what? I'm going to have to go straight to Morten. I'm looking in the wrong way. There you go. I'm going to go straight to Morten. There you go. The direction's reversed. I don't have a sense of direction anyway. Because Morten was dancing along to it. What is your take on this song? Is this our real contender for a final ticket on Saturday?
It's a real contender. I think it's between Magnus and Oda in the semifinal. I have to be honest. It's all upon the staging, if she gets that right or wrong. And to be honest, I expected a bit more lyrically from Oda, as she's the songwriter to both Marcus and Martinez and Alan Walker. So she has a lot more potential than just "We love who we love" like 8-9 times, a few times during the song. I was like, okay, this is boring. But then the beat drops, and I'm like, whoa! I'm taken to a completely new direction, and like everything just goes from here to here. Like, it's incredible, and I'm just looking forward to seeing that live and just experiencing the whole thing. And I hope that either she or Magnus wins on Saturday.
Okay, well, we'll be coming to you for your hot tip of who we think is going to actually get the final ticket. You're gonna have to make that choice. Let's go over to Aline. Aline, what's your take on Love Who We Love?
This might be my least favorite of the 4 we have on Saturday. The song started very good, so I was like, okay, this is going to be good, yes. But then the chorus comes. It's first the pre-chorus and then the chorus, and it felt like I was listening to a totally different song at some point. And I was like, well, both parts are very good separately, but together, I don't think it fits together. I'm not a music expert. I don't know anything about music and songs, but it's just I'm not really feeling this. Sorry.
Well, let's face it. We all listen to music, therefore we can all, pretend to know something about music. Of course, we can't all produce music, but I'm going to go to Andy for his take on that one.
Well, it's
Seamless.
a no from David Gonzalez, and it's a no from me. It's not a Eurovision song. I thought this was Joust. Did I say I don't like Joust? I don't like Joust. But when I knew that Joust was in one of them, this is the one I just assumed it was. I mean, it's all right, but what's she going to do on stage? It's just repetitive. These songs never work in Eurovision. That's not to say one won't one day. But this is not the one.
This is true, but Joe, could this be the year that this type of song does work in Eurovision?
No, I don't like it at all, unfortunately. Everyone has said it, and I agree. It's just repetitive. Love, 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 love. And it's like, yeah, we get the message. Okay, move on. It can't win. I'm looking, I've been saying this all along with every national selection. There has to be something special, something different. And there's too many of the dance songs and the, sort of, I suppose, still 90s dance songs, some of them. But yeah, I just don't feel that they're right. It has to be something special, which is where you come back to Magnus and you come back to the Solitangan brothers, and it's just something completely different, something special that we're not hearing on any other song in that final. So no, she's not going to get in, I don't think. And if she does, I'll be really upset. Boo-hoo.
Wow, it's looks like that's a not feeling the love for Oda. Never mind. But one song now. There is a song that I give the kiss of death to every week, and I normally leave it till the last. It's the Nordic tenors. 3 tenors: Jan Tore Saltners, Sveitin Holmbach, and Roald Har, which I've probably pronounced totally wrong, and I look to Morten for guidance on that. But they got Best Newcomer in 2006. They were singing Toastmasters at King Harold's 70th at Akershus Castle, and they are trying to get through to the final with the song In This Special Place. Long-time viewers of ESC Fan TV will note there is always one song each week that manages to pander to my slightly backdated taste. This is it this week. Let's take a listen and see what you all think. Now do the Morten's fallen asleep. I'm assuming the Nordic tenors didn't take you to your special place then, Morten. Oh, it's even a subtle shake of the head.
Now, you know what? I'm not going to be rude to anyone or anything, or something like that. But like, I don't know what this is. It's like taken out of a 1950s musical and just, okay, let's perform this live on Melodi Grand Prix and hope we win. And I'm like, no, you don't. Their voices are good. I have to give them that. They are maybe they have the best voices this semifinal. I can't lie. But like, the song never takes me anywhere at any time, at any point, and I don't think it will on stage. Like, it will need a miracle. But I'll give them for their effort. Like, they tried at least, and their voices are good. Just hopefully get back with a different song another year.
I'm gonna have to go to Andy on this one. I think he's
yes, takes it to my special place. Yeah, the dog's a lot cuter than the song, isn't it?
Yeah.
The song is just cliche after cliche upon cliche upon cliche. Sort of works, but really, if the three tenors from Italy couldn't do it a couple of years ago, this is not going to do it.
This is true. It is no Il Volvo, is it? Volvo.
No, Il Volvo. No, it's not Volvo. It's more like a Skoda.
It's a bit harsh on Skoda drivers, to be fair, Andy. But never mind. Let's go straight across to Joe.
I don't know. Do you know what? I was just thinking, because I thought you might like this one, to be honest with you, Tom. But you know, like, we're talking about the curse, because you and I both had the same. We've loved the same songs the last 3 weeks, and they've not got through. So I'm thinking, either, you know, shall I love this one and it doesn't get through, which is what we really want, and I hope C gets it, and that's the one we really. I want, really. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. They're lovely lads. They're probably going to sing out of their skin, and I think that's what we've got to watch out for on Saturday. Because what's going to happen is they're going to probably be up against someone like Oda in the first round. They're going to absolutely sing out of their skin and blast it and go through to the final. And it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if they do an amazing performance. But the song's a little bit of a snooze fest, and when you've got against some of the others, that they could struggle in that respect, and I don't think they would win MGP if they didn't go through in this one.
Unfortunately, Joe, you seem to have uncovered my master plan, having offered the kiss of death to a number of songs that I've actually genuinely liked over the last.
I know you too well.
Last few weeks,
you too well.
I may have decided to offer the kiss of death this week to the song that I kind of am a bit not too bothered about.
Very hard, because I feel the same. I've decided it's far safer for the acts that I really like and would really like to get through, just not to mention it tonight. So I'm offering my full support to the Nordic tenors, and I'll tell you who my real favourite is on Saturday night. When it's I will join you on that one.
Let's go across to Nicholas. Nordic tenors. Any love for them?
I just want to say, I'm happy for them. I hope they have the time of their life. I hope they sing their heart out, have a great time. And you know what? If I need a toilet break during the show on Saturday, at least they gave one to me. And I feel like that's pretty generous of them, you know? So thank you for that.
And Aline, any love for the
I haven't experienced that much shade in when I'm doing this live stream. I don't like it either, but it's still okay for me. It's not the worst song I've ever heard, of course. When I heard it for the first time, I felt like I was in London watching a musical. But you have to remember that those musicals are played for like 30 years already. And it's exactly the same still today. So it's, of course, very dated. I also wrote the Norwegian Il Volo, but miles to the bottom than Il Volo is, of course. It also kind of reminds me to the Georgian entry of 2018, I think. And that's not a really good sign because they didn't do that well. So I propose to this in the semi-final.
Now,
Watch this go through on Saturday, and we'll all have to apologize to them on our show.
well, yes, there is that. In which case, that would break my curse, then, wouldn't it? So it's a win-win.
It would.
It's a
May I would
win-win.
have to interview them after they won. So, oh well.
Let's hope they're not watching then.
They've got very lovely forehead.
Do you know what, guys? Let's before we go round to who will get this week's final ticket. Let's give a special mention to Ulrich. The song is Attention. It officially drops, and I use the term officially because officially seems to be something that's quite lax, I think, when it comes to these songs a few weeks into MGP now. Officially drops at midnight CET. So we're not going to spoil that for you. She'll be performing that at the MGP semi-final on Saturday night, and we'll take a listen then. I'm sure a lot of people have already listened to it. I personally haven't done because I didn't want to spoil myself.
Oh, bless.
I'm lying.
Respect.
Now,
Of course you're lying.
of course I'm lying. Now, let's go around the panel. Who is going to get this week's final ticket? You've got 4 acts to choose from. We're going to start with Joe. We're going to go around the panel clockwise. You're going to have to nail your colours to the mast, I'm afraid, my lovely. What song gets your vote?
The Nordic tenors. I don't really want that, to be honest. The Nordic tenors. Not really. I can't say it. I just can't say it because I'm not going to put that curse.
I'm going to have to put Annie's comment on there. I'm not sure what she's quite referring to, but I think it would break my heart. It's possibly,
But if the Nordic tenors won over the one that we want to win, obviously.
Exactly. Let's go to Nicholas. Who's going to get this week's final?
I don't have a curse as far as I'm aware, other than the fact that I always just hate a bunch of songs that goes through. So I don't know. If I say I want Over the Sea to go through, does that mean this one? I really don't know. You know, we got to stop talking about curses here. It's got to be Over the Sea. If it isn't, I'm going to ride in the streets all the way to Norway. I don't care. It needs to go through.
Okay. Aline, who gets your final ticket this week?
By Miles Magnus and Over the Sea, and he gets even a bonus point if he brings Alexander on stage.
Okay.
If he brings the violin,
hoping
bonus
for
points.
And the violin.
a Ryback performance as well. Morton, who gets your vote this week?
First of all, a little fun fact about the staging of Magnus. Alexander won't be on stage, but there will be another violinist. So there will be a violin on stage. Because I think Alexander is away for something. I'm not quite sure, but I know that he won't be on stage. Sorry, guys. But for my vote, it's so hard because my curse is that I predict that who I think will win, and who I want to win doesn't win. That's my curse. So I'm going to try to do the same thing this time and say I think that Magnus will win, but I hope that Oda will win.
Okay, so now I'm not sure. Andy, is your dog going to be voting, or
What?
He fell asleep by the 3 tenors.
What?
Yeah.
Over the sea.
Oh my god.
Mock, run.
Was that Over the Sea, Andy? I can't quite hear you over the barking.
Over the sea.
Okay. Okay. And do you know what? I'm throwing in a vote for the Nordic tenors because I think that would be the best one to make it through to the final. Obviously, I don't want over. Well, no, I do want Over the Sea to do well. I think that would be brilliant, and I've kind of done it. Whoops. But never
You
mind.
sound like someone who's being held hostage.
I know. But you know what? The thing is, it's.
Don't do it, Tom. Do not say it. Don't
I
say it.
want the Nordic tenors to do really well on Saturday, and I think that would be great, and it would be lovely to see them. And to be fair, I think they're going to give a really good performance as well. And I think it's going to be great. Now, over on talking from our panel to your panel in the chat room. Basically, we've got a very, very, very close run thing. Over the Sea wins by a small margin, but Pang comes in as well in second place. Stuart there saying he loves a good Pang. And Annie there just sharing the love for Andy's dog as well, even though Andy doesn't like Joust or Ryback. Now, that, alas, brings us to the end of tonight's show. Work on audience participation, guys. That's where you go, oh.
Oh,
There we go. But
it didn't work last time. Why did you think it would work this time?
I thought I'd trained you all better. Never mind.
So
Don't
Next
forget,
time.
we are back on Saturday at 10 o'clock Central European time. We're going to be actually reviewing Norway semi-final 4. We're going to be seeing who got through to the final. And also, Saturday marks the start of Melodi Festivalen in Sweden. Now, for that, you may be thinking, well, what are ESC Fan TV doing for that? Well, we're giving it its own dedicated show as well, but that's going to be on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Central European time, and we hope to see you there for that as well. Now, in the meantime, I'd like to say a massive thank you to my panel tonight. A big thanks to Joe.
Thank you, everyone, and see you on Saturday. Norway.
A massive thanks to Nicholas.
thank you, and apologies to the Nordic tenors for all the shade thrown. I'll try to be nicer on Saturday, I promise. Lots of love.
A massive thanks to Aline.
Woo, it was nice to be here.
Big thanks to Andy.
Oh, thank you very much. And if there's projectile vomiting on stage on Saturday, you know where they got the idea from.
And, of course, a massive thanks to Morten from Eurovision Norway. Go out and check their content on Facebook and YouTube, as well as ESC Fan TV, because there's some fantastic content on there. Thanks very much, Morten.
Thank you guys for having me, and I'm looking forward to interviewing the Nordic tenors on Saturday.
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
Yay!
We're back Saturday, 10 o'clock Central European time. We'll see you then. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a fantastic Friday, Saturday. Catch up some of our content on there, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.